Oh! All right, what is up, my dudes? Today we are going to be talking about my favorite concerts that happened in 2023. 2024 is officially started, so I thought, what better way to start it off than to reflect back on some of the best shows I saw last year. I can't think of the exact number of shows, but I went to quite a bit more in 2022. I went to less this year, but I traveled out more and I went to the Milwaukee Metal Fest. So I feel like that kind of balances itself out. All right, first off, I'm just going to start with honorable mentions. And I won't go into too much detail on them, but yeah, let's just jump right in. I saw High on Fire with Paul Bearer and a local band, Astronaut. That was rad. And I saw Boris and the Melvins with Mr. Flies. Mr. Flies was a huge band that night for me. I thought they were fucking awesome. We had like a local thing. It was a Chronos Compulsion, Insipidus, Obscene Worship, and a punk band that was their very first show. They keep changing their name. I don't know what it is now, but it was awesome. Then we have Streetlight Manifesto with the Bandits of the Acoustic Revolution Orchestra, which was just fucking incredible. I've seen Streetlight Manifesto one other time, and this was far superior. It was so awesome. They had a full orchestra and it was very cool. And then we also had Paul Bearer with Only Echoes and Astronaut again. Fantastic show. First time seeing Paul Bearer. It was fucking awesome. So there you go. Those were my honorable mentions of the year. Moving on, now we have the official list here. So starting at the bottom, starting with number 10, we have Death to All with Suffocation and Nukem. This was a huge show for me. Love Death, and I'd never seen the Death to All tribute. They were celebrating the Individual Thought Patterns 30th anniversary, and this was the last show on their stop, so that was awesome. And I mean, they stretched out. Steve DiGiorgio was telling lots of great stories. Same with Gene Hoglan, who fucking murdered, and it was just fucking solid. And Max, I think it was Phillips or Phipps, can't remember his last name, but Max fucking did an incredible job with Chuck Schuldiner legacy there. Played all the parts and sang perfectly. It was awesome. And yeah, Suffocation as always was cool. Nukem was cool. And yeah, everybody was jumping out into the crowd, got a set list and some picks, and it was just fucking awesome. So yeah, Death to All. All right, moving on. I couldn't leave out Cavalera, man. If you saw my video for last year, Cavalera just fucking blew my mind. They did the Beneath the Remains and Arise, and this time they did my favorite Sepultura albums, which are Morbid Devastation and Morbid Visions and Bestial Devastation, which they re-recorded. And yeah, they played all of those songs, and it was fucking incredible. And then they had Exhumed open, so I mean, what more can I say? It was a fucking incredible show. And let me tell you something. Buy a record from Exhumed at the show. I got my fucking bang for my buck, dude. I got a record. I got a flexi disc. I got a little pamphlet thing. It was awesome. Yeah. So if you see Exhumed, buy a record from them there. Fucking awesome. All right, moving on. We're gonna go with a smaller show, and this would be a speed metal band called Solicitor with a local band called Weaponizer and another band called Chamber Mage. Fucking awesome, just awesome, awesome show. I love Weaponizer. I've talked about them before. They're a super cool speed black metal thing. Fucking awesome. And yeah, Solicitor was just an incredible, incredible band. Speed metal, kind of black stuff, but I mean, really, it was just that old school stuff. And their singer was awesome, even though she kind of lost her voice and they had to kind of cut the show short. It was just great songwriting, great energy, and yeah, it was fucking awesome. Moving on, we're gonna go with Possessed with Nunslaughter and the Black Mariah and the band Repent. It was a bit of a bummer. Possessed had some serious feedback issues, but I actually talked to somebody that knew the sound engineer from that night, and he said it was just filled with problems. And the venue that they were at was not handicapped accessible for Jeff, so they had to fucking build all this shit the day before. Like, swear to God, I was like, it was pretty crazy. But overall, an incredible show, especially Nunslaughter. I fucking love that band, and I've only seen them one other time, and they just fucking murder. And I just mean murder every time I see them. So yeah, that was awesome. Moving on, Satan with Night Demon, Haunt, and Hollis, and Donova. Huge lineup. The other bands were cool, but I mean, I'm really putting this on this list because of Satan. Like, their singer, fuck, I can't remember his name, but goddamn, he sounds exactly the same as he did on fucking Court in the Act. I mean, it was insane. And they've been reunited with him for probably about a decade now. And, Cruel Magic and Earth Infernal are fucking phenomenal records, and they're late in their career. So Satan, if you get a chance to watch those dudes, fucking do it. They had a hell of a year last year. They toured with Venom Inc. They played at Hell's Heroes, I think. I mean, it was very cool, and they were right up against. I mean, I was right there. Shook his hand or gave him a fist bump or whatever. It was fucking awesome. They just murdered. They were so fucking tight. It was awesome. And with that, we have fucking Deceased, and they were with Demiser, and then two local bands, Insipidus and Bell Tower. Bell Tower, incredible black metal. First time seeing them, that was awesome. And Insipidus, I've seen 100 times. Incredible technical death metal stuff. It's fucking awesome. But Deceased, man, fucking Deceased, just it was so cool. I was so happy to see them live finally, and it was just incredible. It was just there's so much energy, so fucking just in your face, and King was just coming up, fucking grabbing people's heads and shit, and it was awesome, man. It was fucking awesome. So yeah, Deceased, I had to put at 5. Okay, we're gonna go with another death tribute band that toured this year, and I liked it a lot more, and I'll kind of explain why. And that would be Left to Die with Mortuous, Mortal Wound, and Street Tombs, which was a stacked lineup in my opinion. It was fucking awesome. But yeah, Left to Die, Matt Harvey on vocals, and I believe it's Gus Rios. I could be wrong, but I believe it's Gus Rios doing drums, and both of them are from Gruesome, which is one of my favorite bands. So that was incredible. And then we had Rick Ross and Terry Butler, and that just they played all of Leprosy on Leprosy's anniversary, like on the 35th anniversary. So that was just absolutely incredible. And yeah, they also played Corpse Grinder and some shit off of Scream Bloody Gore, which is, I have a tattoo of that album, so take from that what you will. But fucking yeah, dude, like it was just so sick. It was very cool, very touching, and yeah, I just was a little bit more. Leprosy is a little bit more important to me. It has a little bit more of an impact to me than say individual thought patterns. So it was just that show just fucking murdered for me, and yeah, it has to be at number 4. It was just fucking awesome. Okay, now we're getting into like the big boys, and 3. This was fucking hard, but at number 3 I have to put Midnight with Necrofire and Early Moods on their headlining tour, their headlining 20th anniversary tour. I think it was at Speed, Lust, and Sleaze. I can't remember the name of it off the top. Oh, God damn it. Lost my list. Can't remember it off the top of my head, but yeah, dude, 20th anniversary tour, fucking awesome. I was right there, right up against the fucking stage. Aethner came over me like a million times, and I got to fucking hit his bass and shit. It was awesome, man. It was so sick. Incredible set list. They played for what, 50 minutes an hour, and it was perfect. It was so rowdy, so awesome, and yeah, I fucking loved it. I just fucking loved it. It was just exactly what I needed. Midnight has quickly become one of my favorite bands, and seeing that show just about made my year. And then we get to this other shit, and it's like, this is fucking wild. So at 2, it's hard because it's a festival, and I put Milwaukee Metal Fest at 2, and it, you've seen my videos, and going to a festival is an experience in itself. It's not a show, like and you're seeing so many bands in one day, and you're there all day, and you travel for it. So it's kind of its own. It's almost like its own category. But seeing as this is like concerts and festivals are just like, however you look at it, it's either multiple concerts or one big concert. So I just threw it in there. But I will say, and I've said it all on the video or whatever, but the highlights for me were Jungle Rot, Obituary, Macabre, Broken Hope, Deeds of Flesh, Anthrax, Mortal Skull, and Revenge. Seeing all those bands was absolutely incredible. All the bands I saw, I loved, but those bands were the highlights for me, like especially Jungle Rot and Obituary, which is insane because I've seen both of those dudes before, but for whatever reason that night they were just on fucking fire. They were so sick. And seeing Revenge and Deeds of Flesh, Broken Hope, and Macabre for the first time was just awesome. So yeah, Milwaukee Metal Fest is at 2. So with something so incredible like Milwaukee Metal Fest and Midnight being like right up there, Left to Die, like there's just all these bands I saw. It's like, how in the world can we top any of that shit? And I'll give you a simple answer, and that would be fucking Danzig in Chicago. So I have seen all of these bands on this bill before. It was once again Midnight, Twin Temple, Behemoth, and then Danzig headlining. And it's like, how in the fucking world can this be the top show of the year? I've seen all those bands before, whatever. Well, I think all of those bands were at the top of their game with this specific show. Like, it was just, especially Behemoth. Oh my fucking god, they were playing shit that I was like, really, this song? And then they played it. I'm like, this is absolutely incredible. Behemoth to me made that show. Don't get me wrong, I loved, and I really mean loved, every other band that played that night. But for whatever reason, Behemoth was just murdering. It just, oh goddamn! Like, even like that was another big thing. Is I went up to Chicago, first time there, met my friend Megan for the first time, and we went to this show together. And like, I don't think she really knew who Behemoth was, and she saw them. She's like, dude, that was the best band of the night. And I was like, that's what I'm fucking saying. Like, what the fuck? Like, why were they so good? And then you throw in Midnight, which already saw them 3 times this fucking last year, and you throw in Twin Temple, and you're like, okay, what the fuck? Like, this is an incredible night. And then Behemoth just murdered. And then Danzig came on stage and played his whole first fucking album, and you're just like, this is awesome. This is just a great show, and it was incredible venue. It was just so awesome. And I got to experience that with one of my best friends. That it was first time meeting her and hanging out, and it was just a great night. It was so cool. Seeing Twisted Can live, and She Rides, Black Wings, like all these songs. I was like, damn, I forgot how much I liked these fucking songs. So yeah, that's why it has to be number one. It was just so many things just came together perfectly for that day. So Danzig has to be number one. So yeah, there you go. That was my favorite shows of this past year. All incredible. Like I said, didn't see nearly as many as I did last year, but that's okay. Um, I still saw many great shows, many bands for the first time. So awesome, awesome year. So anyway, there's my list. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. Did you go to any of these shows? Did you see any of these bands on tour? What were your favorite shows of this past year? Just let me know. And yeah, that's all I got for you. Thank you all so much for watching. Stay heavy, stay safe, and I'll see you next time. Goodbye.